Hello YouTube! In this tutorial we will learn how to organize things. We will learn about C++ struct, structures basically. So it's like when you have Excel table or MySQL table, you know that you have rows and columns, and in those columns you can put only specific data types, because this is how you respect structure. So you can be sure that whatever you put there will be useful tomorrow or 6 months from now, because you are respecting those general rules. So we're gonna do that into low-level way in a C++. So how to start? Well, you're gonna say struct, and immediately you will see that that's dedicated stuff from programming language, dedicated color, keyword. And now what is the general name for that group of things, like when you're creating a library? So let's just call it the books, yeah, bunch of stuff. And this is a general name, general container that will hold another individual stuff, like a title of the book, author of the book, and such a thing, detailed thing. Okay, so in this type of bracket, you need to go into details by stating data types for those virtual columns. So character, data type for title of the book, and maximum will be 50 of them, characters in that thing, in that column. Another thing, a character for author, and let's say 50 characters, name and surname can hold. I mean, I'm just bubbling here, but it's use whatever you like. So after that, we need to have topic of that book, and we will be more descriptive, let's say 100. And of course, as in any country, when you have people, they need to have individual IDs like social security numbers and such stuff. So ID, and that ID is integer, so ID of that specific book. Right, so right now what you see here is a general structure, and we need to respect that down there when we put stuff here and when we grab stuff from here. Why? To do some kind of calculations, custom reports, like exporting to HTML, PDF, I don't know, importing to some real database down there, something like that. Right, so how to proceed now? Well, you need to say struct now again, because this struct was when you are creating structure, and now you are using it. But to be specific that you're using structure, well, you must use struct again. So what is your general target here? Because you want to go into individual things. So the general container that you're hitting is books. So books, and now you are into that thing creating individual things, like individual books into this library. So now you can just say book number 1, let's say, very simple stuff. And if you want to create book number 2 with all the details, you just say books, book number 2, books, book number 3, and so on, using struct, of course. Right, so sorry, this is an end of instruction, so semicolon. Okay, now let's grab stuff from reality and put it into like a virtual table, into columns. How? Because we are working with characters, a bunch of them, we need to use new thing, string copy. And now what is the target? Well, the target is book number 1. We don't need to specify general target here, because individual target already exists. So book number 1, and then what you are hitting there specifically, and see, you already have suggestions. So let's follow some order here. Like you have a title, you want to hit, you want to put things there, title, and please note that as a separator we must use dot here, so don't forget that ever. And this is a left side. So after the left side you have a right side where you have actual data. So this was generic, like names of columns. I mean, not generic, but names of columns based on generic structure. So structure, and here we have actual data, individual data for individual books, for individual like field, like column. So reality says that title is, I don't know, relativity theory or something like that from Einstein. I don't know if he even wrote that book with that title, but I'm just typing here something, who cares. So this is also instructions, so semicolon. Now another thing, and you probably get the stuff here, how to do that. Well, book 1 is a target, okay, no problem. And then we are hitting author, and then what is author? Albert Einstein. And same thing with the topic, string, and the target is book 1, and we are hitting column topic, and then actual data is relativity. So this is for topic and this is for title. I mean, it can be something here more, but who cares, you get the point. Okay, this is instruction, so that's pretty much it. So what about integer? Well, in case of integer, you can just say book 1, okay, and then dot, and then ID of that book equals, because this is integer now, it's not string, we are not copying anything in those general like subcontainers, because this is in reality subcontainer that can hold sorry, different things, different characters. So now this is individual thing, like one number. There can be only one ID in your kind of small table. So let's just use this number, like you have a lot of books on relativity, something like that. And yep, that's pretty much it, how to create a structure and how to use it down there, in a sense that you are importing data. So let's repeat the stuff one more time. Use a struct when you're creating, then general container, then columns. Like just imagine that you have columns from Excel or MySQL. On the left side you have data types. On the right side, if you have characters, you're stating maximum number of those things packed together. And then in the main section you're creating individual basically things based on general container. Okay, so when you do that, use a struct and then name of general container, of course with a space here, and then have a name for that individual thing. But that's not enough, this is just one instruction. And then down there, for every individual column based on that individual case, one individual case like book 1, on the left side have those individual things and from structure, and on the right side have actual content from reality, real data, real strings. And when you're working with just IDs, just use equality here, and that's pretty much it. So string copy, and you have comma here, that's thing to note. And when you are using IDs, whole numbers and stuff, you have equality here. So I need to actually to make sure that this will work. So I'm just gonna run this stuff now. So string copy was not declared. Just a second. Oh yeah, I forgot to activate this. I'm using term here string copy. It's a struct copy, but who cares? Okay, so include C string, type that here. We are activating additional operations, and now when I run this stuff, the thing will work. So there you go. Now you don't have any results here, but that's fine, because down there you don't have any kind of errors. But it's cool, don't worry about it. So string copy, struct copy, yeah, struct copy, because we are grabbing stuff here and putting into struct. Well, who cares? Anyway, I'm gonna shut up and see you in the next tutorial when we are going to actually do some operations with those individual things. So thank you for watching and see you there.